At this sale, I found myself in company with many old, broken-down horses. The buyers and sellers were bargaining. Some of the buyers looked poor and shabby, but kind and gentle. I could trust them, and I would willingly use the last of my strength in serving them. Coming from the better part of the fair, I noticed a gentleman farmer with a young boy by his side. When he came up to me, he stood still and looked at me with pity in his eyes. I saw his eye rest on me. I had still a good appearance. I looked at him and listened carefully. "There's a horse that has known better days, Willie." "Poor old fellow," said the boy. "Do you think, Grandpa, he was ever a carriage horse?" "Yes, he might have been anything when he was young. Look at his nostrils and his ears, the shape of his neck and shoulder. His father and mother must have been very good horses," said the old man, putting out his hand and giving me a kind pat on the neck. I put out my nose in answer to his kindness. The boy gently touched my face. "See, Grandpa, how well he understands kindness. Could not you buy him and make him young again, as you did with Ladybird?" "My dear boy, I can't make all old horses young." "Well, Grandpa, though he is very thin, his eyes are not sunk like some old horses. I am sure he would grow young in our field." The man who had brought me for sale now put in his word. "Sir, this horse is just exhausted with overwork pulling cabs. He's not an old one, and I heard that a 6 months' rest would set him right up. I've taken care of him for the past 10 days, and he is the happiest and most thankful animal that I have ever met." The little boy looked eagerly, so the farmer slowly felt my legs, which were much swelled and strained. Then he looked at my mouth. "Just work him out, will you?" I arched my poor thin neck, raised my tail a little, and threw out my legs as well as I could. "What is the lowest you will take for him?" said the farmer as I came back. £5, sir. That was the lowest price my master set." "It's a risk, but," said the old gentleman, drawing out his wallet and counting the money into his hand. They walked forward, and I was led behind. The boy could hardly control his delight, and the old gentleman seemed to enjoy his pleasure. I had a good feed at the hotel, and was then gently ridden home by a servant of my new master's, and turned into a large field. Mr. Thorogood was the name of the old gentleman who bought me. He gave orders that I should have hay and oats every night and morning, and run in the field during the day. He also said, "Willie, you must take care of him. I give him in charge to you." The boy was proud of his charge, and took it very seriously. There was not a day when he did not pay me a visit, sometimes paying special attention to me, and giving me a bit of carrot, or sometimes standing by me while I ate my oats. He always came with kind words and a gentle touch. Sometimes he brought his grandfather, who always looked closely at my legs. The perfect rest, the good food, the soft grass, and gentle exercise soon began to improve my condition and my spirits. I began to feel quite young again. One day in spring, Mr. Thorogood determined to try me in the carriage. I was well pleased, and he and Willie drove me a few miles. My legs were not stiff now, and I did the work with perfect ease. He's growing young, and we must give him a little gentle work now. Oh, Grandpa, how glad I am that you bought him. So am I. We must now be looking out for a good and quiet place for him, where he will be valued.
Arch, arch, arch. Shabby, shabby, shabby. Buyer, buyer, buyer.
Willingly, willingly, willingly. Sunk, sunk, sunk.